Mr. Mark, Mr. Gaston. Okay, so you see my wall behind me. It's about 9 feet long, 6.5 feet high. And the idea is a wall like this would be festooned with something like this squishy yoga block, and we can screw them in anywhere. We can get 2 of them, 3 of them, so that we can do multiple hand grips, crossovers like with the great Mary Ellen. We can grab and pull. But the bigger story is that in the mobility culture, a tenet of the mobility culture is that the grip opens the hip, that you get a grip on the power of the grip for mobility. Now, it's actually a resisted grip. So the idea is I'm pinching with the left hand, pinching. I'm doing a turning motion, like I'm trying to open up a stuck jar of olives. Now, what makes this mobility culture versus just an exercise that we do is the contribution to the capacity of hip mobility secondary to the grip. And this is fun stuff. It gets into how an elbow works. So the elbow is half hinge joint. I can hinge the elbow, but it's also ball and socket. And that I can, at any point in that hinge, rotate the hand. Here's where things get wild. This is the connection to mobility culture. That's why we teach this and train this to every resident in Evergreen. It's part of the mobility culture. We have signs on the wall. Your grips open your hips. Your grip strength is the key to mobility. When I grip this block and I start to turn it, but it resists, what happens is since the thumb, the ball and socket half of the elbow is externally rotating, it's resisted by the squishy block. When I'm turning against resistance, since the ulna, which is connected into the radius, this is stuff for Gaston and I, but it's for everybody in mobility culture, it begins to turn, it actually rotates the humerus. The humerus is via the obliques and the pec major, starting to externally rotate in the socket that connects into the hip bone, opens up the hip. So basically the big premise, yes, we build a wall, but the mobility culture is committed to the grip connection to movement in hip mobility. That's the big picture. That's what we can sell, teach, promote, live mobility culture.